All right, so in this video, we're going to talk about kind of doing like a shorthand if statement. And so far what we've learned about ifs is you can do like an if, and then if that statement is true, you do a bunch of statements here, right? Or you can have an if with an else. So basically, if it's if, you do these statements, otherwise do this other set of statements, right? But there's actually like a special situation where if you only have one statement for the if or the else part, you don't have to do the curly braces, right? So what's going to show up here is this is just another way of doing it is if, and then you can run a single line here, and then same thing with like an if else. As long as you have a single line, you don't have to put the curly braces for the if or the else part, right? And I think this is Java does this just to save on having all these curly braces all over the place. So just to be completely clear, I made a little scanner program here that asks for their name, scans it, stores it in student, and then if it's to Tyson, we're gonna mock him with the best insult we can think. This is from Monty Python if you've never seen that movie. Otherwise, we're gonna say this, ask them if they want to be friends. I suppose we should make this a question mark. Okay, and we got another one down here, a separate one that's just an if they're Kyle. Seems like Kyle would have a lot of money, so we're gonna ask if we can have $5 from Kyle. Okay, so when we run this, it's as we would expect. If we just do Tyson for a second, you'll say your father was a hamster, and then this other if won't run. Okay, but what this is really saying is like, if it's a single line, right? These are single lines, then we can get rid of these curly braces and just indent it one level. So it's kind of nice where it looks a little bit cleaner, a little bit easier to read or understand. And again, it should work the same way. So if I run this again and enter Tyson again, right, it'll still work the same way. It just doesn't have the curly braces. Right, so the one trick with this is you can't have multiple lines of code. So if you remember this Monty Python insult, the second part was like your mother smelled of elderberries or something like that. I don't know how to spell elderberries, but actually it's probably like this, elderberries. But anyways, you can see it's already starting to complain that you can't have two lines here, right? So if you want two lines there, you have to add the curly braces in again. So now my if has to have curly braces because there's multiple lines. The else can still be a single line, and this should work okay. All right, so if you want to demo that running, so if it does Tyson, it'll do both lines, so that works okay. And then if we do another name, Dominic, we'll ask, do you want to be friends, right? So it's just kind of a different way to structure your ifs with the curly braces. And again, it works for single line statements like this. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching.